The prairie wind carries more than dust and seed this spring. It carries whispers. Not the kind that spread gossip, though Walnut Grove has its share of that, but the kind that speak of change, of loss, of a quiet woman who has held this town together with steady hands and a silent heart, and who may soon be gone. Her name is Hester-Sue Terhune, but everyone calls her Mrs. Terhune, the wife of Dr. Terhune, the town's beloved physician. She's the woman who answers the door at all hours, who brews tea for waiting patients, who mends the doctor's coats, and keeps his ledgers in perfect order. She's the one who remembers which child is allergic to honey, which widow needs extra broth, which farmer's wife is expecting. She is, in every way that matters, the heart of the clinic, but no one calls her that. Not even her husband. Dr. Terhune is a good man, kind, skilled, devoted to his patients. But he is also a man of his time. He believes a woman's place is in the home, her role to support, not to lead. So when Hester-Sue suggests ways to improve the clinic, better record-keeping, a clean water system, even basic hygiene practices like hand washing, he smiles indulgently and says, "You worry too much, my dear." She doesn't argue. She never does. But inside, a quiet ache grows. Because Hester-Sue isn't just a doctor's wife. She's a doctor herself. Trained in Boston, one of the first women to study medicine in a time when women were barred from most medical schools. She passed her exams. She earned her license. She could have had her own practice, her own name on a shingle, but she chose love. She chose Dr. Terhune. And in choosing him, she chose silence. For years, she's worked beside him, not as a partner, but as a shadow. She diagnoses fevers he misses. She soothes frightened children he startles. She even performs minor procedures when his hands shake from exhaustion. But her name is never on the records. Her voice is never in the consultations. Her brilliance is folded into his, like a secret only the walls know. Then everything changes. Dr. Terhune collapses, not from illness, but from exhaustion. Years of 20-hour days, of riding through blizzards to deliver babies, of giving his last dollar to a family who couldn't pay, it is all caught up with him. The diagnosis is heart failure. He needs rest, complete rest. No patients, no rounds, no decisions. But Walnut Grove can't survive without a doctor. And so the town faces a crisis. Charles Ingalls, as town elder, calls a meeting. They discuss bringing in a new physician from Mankato, but it will take weeks. And in the meantime, who will set broken bones, deliver babies, treat the spring fevers already spreading through the schoolhouse? Then a quiet voice speaks from the back of the room. "I can help." All eyes turn to Hester-Sue Terhune. Some look surprised, others skeptical. Harriet Oleson even sniffs. "A woman? Practicing medicine? What will people say?" But Charles studies her, really studies her, and sees what others have missed. The steady hands, the calm eyes, the quiet authority that doesn't need to shout to be heard. "Can you do it?" he asks. She doesn't boast. She simply says, "I've been doing it for 20 years. And so, with the town's hesitant blessing, Dr. Hester-Sue Terhune steps out of the shadows. What follows isn't a triumphant parade. It's a quiet revolution. She opens the clinic under her own name. She sees patients with the same skill her husband had, but with a gentler touch, a listening ear, a patience that puts even the most frightened child at ease. She implements the hygiene practices she's long advocated: clean water, sterilized tools, hand washing, and within days, infection rates drop. The town watches, and slowly, they begin to believe. A mother brings her feverish son, not because she has to, but because she trusts Dr. Terhune. A farmer rides 10 miles to have his wound stitched by her hands. Even Harriet Oleson, after Hester-Sue saves her prized poodle from a snake bite, mutters, Well, she's not entirely useless, but the true test comes when a diphtheria outbreak threatens the schoolchildren. It's the kind of crisis that would have Dr. Terhune working day and night, but he's still in bed, weak, watching from the window as his wife moves through the clinic with calm efficiency. One night, overwhelmed, Hester-Sue sits on the porch, tears finally falling. "I'm not strong enough," she whispers to the stars. "Not without him." Dr. Terhune, wrapped in a blanket, joins her. "You've always been stronger than me," he says, his voice thick with regret. "I just never let you show it." And in that moment, a lifetime of silence is finally heard. He doesn't ask her to step back. He doesn't take over. He simply says, "Let me help you," not as the doctor, but as her partner. In the weeks that follow, they work side by side, not as doctor and wife, but as two healers, each honoring the other's gifts. And when the outbreak is finally contained, the town doesn't just thank Dr. Terhune. They thank Dr. Hester-Sue Terhune by name. Now, Doctor's Lady is more than a story about a woman stepping up. It's a quiet indictment of a world that sees women as accessories to men's greatness, rather than as greatness in their own right. In 1870s America, female doctors were rare, often ridiculed, and rarely given credit. Many, like the real women who inspired this episode, worked in the shadows, their knowledge used, their names erased. Michael Landon, who wrote this episode, dared to say brilliance doesn't need permission to exist. It only needs space to breathe, and the actress who played Hester-Sue, Betty Buckley, in one of her earliest and most powerful roles, brings a quiet dignity to the character that still resonates 50 years later. Her strength isn't in defiance, but in endurance, the kind that says, "I will wait, but I will not disappear." This episode also honors a deeper truth. Love isn't about diminishing yourself to lift someone else. It's about standing side by side, both seen, both valued, both whole. Today, this story echoes with urgent relevance. In a world that still undervalues women's labor, in medicine, in science, in leadership, Doctor's Lady whispers a radical truth. Your gifts don't vanish because no one names them, but the world is brighter when you finally do. So if this journey moved you, if you've ever worked in someone's shadow, or finally stepped into your own light, I'd be honored to hear your story. Drop a comment below. Who finally saw you for who you truly are? If this 69-minute storytelling of Doctor's Lady touched your heart, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to SG Top Celebrities, and hit the bell so you never miss another story that heals, teaches, and reminds us that greatness often wears a quiet face. Thank you for walking this path of silent strength with Hester-Sue Terhune. As Ma Ingalls might say, the world calls her Doctor's Lady, but God knows her name. Until next time, honor the quiet ones. They've been holding us up all along.